AJ Green. Are we going to talk about an AJ Green trade? Yes, we are. 13 targets, 3 receptions. That's not a good slash. That is not something you want to see happen, is 10 incompletions thrown your way to your star receiver. Now, some of them were on Joe. There was a couple plays. I think there was the one Joe scrambled out, threw it to AJ. It was a good pass. It was a a little too far. It was a touchdown pass, so it was a deep bomb you would have had there. It was a good pass, or a good look there by Burrow. Didn't get it. You had a couple of those, but you also had AJ Green dropping balls. You also had some plays where I question if AJ Green could have put in more effort. You had there was another touchdown look he had where he just went out there and he one-handed it. He put out one hand. Now you can see the DB kind of grab at his other arm a little bit there, but I mean they didn't call anything, first of all, and second of all, so either they missed it or he didn't really have that big of a grab on it. AJ just tried to one-hand it and kind of nonchalant it there, where he should have tried to, more effort, bring out the second hand. Wasn't a big fan of that. He dropped, there was a couple of drops actually out of AJ. The one he threw behind AJ later in the game there, trying to roll down the field, I know it was behind him. That's AJ Green. He's got to make that play. It just feels like AJ Green right now. And I love everything AJ Green's done for this team over the years, but he's getting older. He's getting older. He's had injury problems, and it just feels like that kind of stuff's coming together now, where you're seeing, he doesn't make these AJ Green-like plays anymore, where he's jumping up in the air, acrobatic catches, those 50-50 balls that he seemed to always come down with back in the day. It's just, I don't know if you want to say the effort's not there. Again, when you get older, you worry about the injuries. Maybe he's concerned about that. The team's concerned about that, of him staying healthy and, being able to play on the field. I'm not completely sure on that. Regardless, this is a team in a rebuilding phase. AJ Green's getting older, and you'd like to think there's still teams looking around in the league saying, we could use an AJ Green, and either you could say, hey, maybe we can find a draft pick or be somebody for the offensive line to help this team out. And I think that's the question, right? What would you get back for AJ Green? Because I'm sure there's a lot of teams that still look at this guy as a star player in the league. I don't want to question the man's effort and everything, but it did feel like one of those games, you hear him talk about this in the NFL a lot. You design plays for your playmaker, try to get them involved, try to get them deep shots. And if you look, that's been the MO for the Bengals. It's been a lot of, minus John Ross's couple attempts last week, it's been a lot of AJ Green on the, the big looks downfield and these design plays that look like they're just meant to get AJ involved. And it's almost hurt the team more than it's helped of recent years so far, because Joe does such a great job of spreading the football out to everybody, finding the open guy. And if that's the case there, where they're trying to get AJ going and it's not working, maybe you almost consider it again a little bit of a problem there, because I think you say I too big of an Alden Tate guy. I think that's my problem. Too tunnel vision. Alden Tate, T Higgins, Alden Tate, T Higgins, Tyler Boyd. 1, 2, 3. Not a bad 1, 2, 3. I think, especially going forward. And Tyler Boyd, much more efficient in this game. 8 targets, 7 receptions. The one he didn't catch is the one he dropped. And you look at that and you compare to the 3 to 13 to AJ Green. Mike Daniels has been playing great. That's what you gotta love about Joe Burrow, is he gets everybody involved. Bruce Sample was out there, Uzama. Hopefully that was nothing serious there. It didn't look good though. Plenty of weapons for Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon, Giovanni Bernard out of the backfield, whatever. And I think as a Bengals team, you got to look at the future, right? You got to continue. You're in this small window. I don't think you expect to keep AJ Green at the end of this season. You're in this small window, though, where you still would like to try to, put together a playoff team before you have to pay Joe Burrow big money. And if you can pick up another draft pick to try to help out this offensive line, defensive line, whatever it is for AJ Green, I think you have to look there. I think you have to look there for John Ross. Personally, the first round draft pick on John Ross, that was one of those that just hurt. He's been the injury concerns. The play on the field could definitely be better, I feel like. And there's probably teams that would still be willing to take a chance on this guy. That might even throw a second for him. Maybe you take a second for him. That's going to be, a big help to this team as well. Or do you want to, keep him out there to give Burrow an extra weapon? That's the thing. You don't want to deplete your wide receiver core to the fact that Joe Burrow doesn't have as many weapons. You want to give him, the biggest
just keep thinking
plethora of weapons as possible. Tate being healthy stretch. Here. This is, we've touted about it so much. Could be wrong. Give this man a chance to play. Draw him up some big plays, draw him up to be that big playmaker guy for the Bengals, and see what happens. I feel like he is the answer for these deep balls Joe Burrow is looking for right now, of a guy that's going to jump up, make a play, and make the catch. That is what Auden Tate can do. And if he's your deep guy, you don't need John Ross, right? You got your deep guy in Auden Tate. As much as John Ross can be that burner, then you can talk about moving John Ross, or you can talk about moving AJ Green. But you got to give the guy a chance to play, I guess, and see what he's capable of. Your T. Higgins still getting involved in things as well. But it leans me towards saying AJ, trade him. Love AJ. Love AJ. Everything he's did for this franchise. Can't express it enough. Always went about his business in a professional way. But he's just getting older, and the injuries, and you got to look at the future for this team, I think, right now. That's our thoughts. Thank you guys for watching.